Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to untangle an absolutely fascinating cosmic bureaucracy, and we'll be following two very relatable disasters who literally broke the universe with their romance. It's a wild ride, so let's dive right in. Okay, picture this incredibly deadpan corporate memo. This is our introduction to the Void Management Division. Throughout our explainer today, we're going to explore this massive, stark contrast between a sterile bureaucratic system that just wants to maintain baseline reality and the messy, passionate, completely uncontrollable humanity they're trying to manage. Consider this your official Void Management Division training module. We'll be covering the reality glitch, the forced convergence, corrupting the anchor, the awakening movement, and finally, the weight of being real. All right, part 1, the reality glitch, when lovers remember too much. We start our story out on a rainy street with Elias Voss and Lena Solari. Now, the official bureaucratic definition of their existence is cross-branch recognition. But in the eyes of the multiverse's operating system, this is a massive glitch. They shouldn't exist. They're essentially probability parasites. And the mere fact that Elias and Lena recognize each other threatens to tear reality apart at the seams.
Lena really hits the nail on the head when she says it's not love, it's heavier than that. The universe actually tries to correct this glitch in one profound moment by sending a high-velocity bullet straight at them. But get this, the gravitational weight of their connection is so incredibly powerful that the bullet is literally stopped in midair, just spinning in quantum superposition. They are breaking the rules of reality simply by being together.
Moving on to part 2, the forced convergence, protocol Omega activated.
Enter Karen. She's the head of ontological compliance. Think of her as the Void's exhausted accountant. She's been doing this job for 47,000 years. Totally tired of cleaning up their messes, she activates Protocol Omega to compress every single infinite version of Elias and Lena into one singular timeline. The clock starts at 96 hours, and they retreat to a remote cabin. By hour 48, it's intense. They're going through severe memory bleed, literally feeling the deaths and lives of all their other versions collapsing into them. So Karen is forced to evaluate a huge philosophical dilemma here. The old system was singular and amnesiac. It was safe, sure, but it was essentially a lie. This new system, represented by our heroes, is multiple, aware, complex, and super messy. The big question is it better to maintain a safe, half-awake system or allow a burdened but fully real existence?
Part 3, corrupting the anchor, a graffiti tag for the universe.
Staring down total deletion, Elias and Lena make a wild choice. Instead of trying to fix the glitch or quietly letting themselves be erased, they decide to boldly exist. Elias says it perfectly, we're not a bug, we're a test. We are, therefore we should be. So, they rebel. They break into a pre-collapse cathedral downtown, which actually serves as a primary probability anchor for their entire branch of reality. What they do next is known as the cathedral corruption. They infuse this primary probability anchor with their blood, intimacy, and undeniable existence. By embedding their own specific messy waveform directly into the anchor, they make themselves so completely indispensable that erasing them would collapse the entire branch. Basically, they take reality hostage with their love. Which brings us to part 4, the awakening movement. From glitches to official ambassadors. Karen watches this impossible feat and realizes, wait, this isn't a bug, it's a massive upgrade. She proposes a radical idea to the Void Council to make cross-branch recognition official. And just look at this staggering number, 52,847. That's the number of confirmed, recognized consciousnesses globally, just 15 months post-convergence. Their personal rebellion scaled up into a full-blown multiverse revolution. Now, the ancient Void Council doesn't just hand over the keys to reality for free. They approve the new system, but with some very strict caveats. Recognition has to be voluntary, and there has to be comprehensive support. But the real kicker is that final stipulation. Elias and Lena absolutely must remain a stable couple. The council essentially takes their relationship hostage, using it as the load-bearing foundation for all 52,847 newly awakened souls. No pressure, right? And finally, part 5, the weight of being real. Carrying the burden of infinite lives. So, our once reality-breaking fugitives are suddenly the reluctant poster children for this entire movement. They're working as peer counselors for these highly volatile, newly recognized couples. And their methods are amazingly pragmatic. They teach couples like Marcus and Yuki, who literally remember murdering each other in past timelines, how to handle severe memory bleed. The steps are simple. Acknowledge the past violence, consciously choose to be better today, and crucially, buy cheap, aerodynamic plates for throwing when things get heated. It's radical acceptance mixed with some very necessary humor. But being the universe's template for a healthy relationship takes a massive toll. The program has a 73.2% stable consolidation success rate, which is phenomenal. However, nearly 27% of people simply cannot carry the immense weight of multiple lives. They choose to deconsolidate back to a singular amnesic state. And trying to save that 27% while constantly performing stability for the public really starts breaking Elias and Lena down. Yet, even amidst the crushing burnout and the sheer trauma of having 17 merged lives, they arrive at a profound realization. Being singular was, without a doubt, easier. But this, being multiple, being aware, and being truly awake, even with all the pain it brings, is fundamentally better. They know that this painful honesty absolutely beats the comfortable lie of singularity. Ultimately, Karen steps in one last time. She helps them realize that the system they started has grown way beyond them. It doesn't need them to play Atlas and hold up the sky anymore. So, with her blessing, Elias and Lena finally take a sabbatical. They retreat to a remote cabin, shut off their communicators, and are finally allowed to just exist as themselves, letting this grand evolution of consciousness sustain itself. So, as we wrap up this explainer and reflect on the absolute wildness of this cosmic bureaucracy, I want to leave you with a thought. If the universe suddenly remembered you across infinite timelines, what would you choose? Is it better to be singular, safe, and half awake, or multiple, burdened, and fully real?